Even though Mark Carney wasn't actually physically in the chamber during that debate, went over 4 hours in the House of Commons last night, certainly he was the focus of a lot of it focused on his changing position on the Iraq war. Remember, within hours of those first strikes by Israel and the United States on targets in Iran, Carney put out a press release saying that he supported the effort to keep Iran from developing a nuclear weapon, later saying that he regretted having to support this and saying he thought the law could have been in breach of international, the attacks could have been in breach of international law. The NDP not happy about this, saying that response is unprincipled and incoherent. The Bloc Québécois saying that the fact Carney didn't show up for this debate last night shows a disinterest in accountability. And it was left to Anita Anand, the Foreign Affairs Minister, who was at times over the past 10 days or so been kind of at odds with the Prime Minister. Their messaging has not been consistent. So a lot of this effort, the decision to have this debate by the Liberal government, was trying to get sort of a coherence to their messaging, get everybody sort of singing from the same songbook, and also responding to some of those concerns that even Liberal MPs have had about the Carney's apparent flip-flops on this important issue. Listen to some of the debate, starting with Anita Anand, following with Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre.
We will continue to support efforts to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon and hold the Iranian regime accountable for its actions.
We need strong leadership that takes a stand, maintains that stand, stays consistent at home and abroad, and shows up in this House of Commons to do what is right and speak for the Canadian people.
Now there, Poilievre seems to be kind of pointing out, hinting at the fact that Carney wasn't in the House of Commons chamber. Of course, that would be a breach of parliamentary protocol. You were not supposed to refer to the absence of another member of Parliament. That is considered a breach of decorum, breach of the standing orders. Poilievre didn't quite come that far. But then today he was back on sort of a similar topic, raising concerns about the presence of members of the IRGC. That is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, essentially both the military and the secret police in Iran. And there have been reports that there are IRGC agents active in Canada. This is sort of something coming up in our inquiries into foreign interference and transnational repression. A lot of concerns that there are sort of sleeper cells. And then yesterday, ABC News in the United States reporting that Iran had sent out kind of the bat signal to its implanted agents all over the world, kind of activating their cells. So Poilievre saying this is now an active concern. Listen to what he had to say this morning at a press conference in Gatineau, Quebec.
They have killed 55 of our citizens, 30 of our permanent residents. They have sponsored terror on the ground. They've intimidated our people. I personally have met with Canadians of Persian descent who say that they are being surveilled and intimidated by these officials. Their agents are present in our country because of failed Liberal border policies. And so what we need to do is expel regime thugs from Canada, kick the terrorists out of our country to keep our people safe.
Now, since 2024, being a member of the IRGC has been illegal in Canada because that's when we designated them to be a terrorist entity. And so any involvement, financial support, otherwise, would be a breach of the terrorism law and would certainly result in potentially criminal charges if somebody was a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and also potentially as well deportation. Not quite as easy as Mr. Poilievre makes it sound, because the challenge is figuring out who is an IRGC agent and who is a legitimate Iranian immigrant or refugee who's here legally in this country.